As a professional dancer, I'm constantly amazed by how the history of our craft is literally woven right into the garments we wear. Welcome to this explainer. For us, stepping into costume isn't just about getting dressed for the stage. It's like slipping on a living archive of our cultural aesthetics and our very identity.
Let's dive right into this profound connection. The very act of washing, dressing, and decorating the idol is a part of the Shodasa Upacharam, practiced in temples as a part of the daily ritual to God. So what this shows us is that a dancer's costume is so much more than just beautiful fabric. It's actually a direct extension of a divine practice. We are literally inheriting our second skin from these ancient rituals, where adorning yourself was an act of deep, deep spirituality. Part 1. The dancer's second skin.
To really grasp our visual expression, we've got to lay the foundation first, and that means understanding the concept of aharya. Aharya is the intrinsic art of expression through costumes, textiles, ornaments, and external makeup applications to alter or enhance one's appearance. So, the key takeaway here? It's not just about looking pretty. Aharya is its own complex art form and the absolute fundamental marker of our cultural and social identity as performers. It tells the audience exactly who we are, where we come from, and the heavy history we carry with us. Take a look at the incredibly rich silks and the gleaming gold here. It perfectly captures how the traditional attire we wear today directly mirrors those ancient Shodasha Upacharam rituals used to decorate temple deities. Our aesthetic on stage? It's a direct, unbroken echo of that sacred adornment.
Part 2. Echoes of ancient scripts.
Now, what I find absolutely fascinating is how modern academic research bridges the gap between these ancient historical texts and our actual physical movements today. We can look at this incredible doctoral research by Neon 3M from the University of Hyderabad. Her work lets us trace the rigorous, strict codification of our makeup and jewelry back centuries. It proves without a doubt that the ancient texts and our practical performance have literally always walked hand in hand.
Let's look at how this builds chronologically. From the 2nd century BCE to the 10th century CE, dance was largely just a part of drama. Then, from the 11th to the 15th centuries, it evolved into an independent art form. And finally, between the 16th and 19th centuries, we see the rise of regional styles and highly specific aharya. So we're seeing the aesthetic evolve from a simple dramatic backdrop to this highly specialized art form where our costumes and jewelry became standardized into what we recognize today.
When we dig into early Tamil texts like the Silapadikaram and various Sanskrit treatises, the level of detail is just staggering. They prescribed ancient adornments like the Kasturi Tilakam, a deer musk mark on the forehead, thick sandalwood and saffron pastes on the body, dark collyrium to visually elongate the eyes, intricate floral braids, and golden anklets, waistbands, and armlets. These organic, ritualistic decorations dramatically shaped a dancer's visual identity. None of this was random, guys. Every single detail had a very specific ritual and aesthetic purpose. Surprisingly enough, some of these early texts even demanded that performers know how to cut leaves into intricate patterns just to decorate their foreheads, or how to properly extract dye from herbs to stain their nails. It really highlights just how deeply personal and skill-based this aesthetic preparation was. You had to be an artist before you even stepped foot on the stage.
Part 3. From temples to royal courts.
But, as society shifted, so did our canvas. We moved out of the sacred temple courtyards and straight into the unimaginably wealthy royal courts. The transition to the courts of the Nayakas forced dancers to imitate the heavy, pure gold attire of queens. This established a completely new political and visual power dynamic. In these flamboyant courts, our costumes suddenly had to represent royal prosperity, leading to the adoption of heavy, solid gold pieces embedded with genuine rubies and pearls. It was just as much about flexing the monarch's power as it was about the art of dance. This era is crucial because it embedded the roots of royal and temple adornment deep into our culture. We shifted from lightweight ritual wear to heavy royal imitation. We saw the introduction of vadasari, inlaid temple jewelry. And foundational traditional pieces like the Aranjanam anchored our identity while reflecting the socioeconomic status of the patron king. The Aranjanam waist ornament is a perfect example of this. It's a foundational piece that forged our visual identity so strongly that we still wear it today.
Part 4. The proscenium stage revival.
Fast forward to the late 19th and early 20th century, and the dancer's canvas undergoes its absolute most dramatic metamorphosis yet.
During the revival period, brilliant visionaries like Rukmini Devi Arundale worked closely with international theater directors. Their goal? To completely refashion the presentation of Bharatanatyam for the modern, Western-inspired proscenium stage. But, and this is absolutely key, without losing its ancient soul.
By introducing custom-tailored stage props and architectural backdrops complete with ancient pillars and nandi bowls, Rukmini Devi masterfully tricked the audience's subconscious. She made them literally feel that ancient temple spirituality, even though they were sitting in a modern theater setting. It was a total game changer.
Part 5. Designing the modern aesthetic. Okay, let's dive into this comparison because stepping into the blinding warmth of theatrical stage lights required a complete reimagining of what a dancer actually wore. The heavy royal robes just didn't cut it anymore. Pre-revival, dancers wore heavy pure gold and extravagant garments under natural light or oil lamps. Post-revival, they traded that exhausting weight for movement-friendly tailored bodices and lighter imitation Vidasari lettals, all adapting perfectly to directed stage lights and gobo effects. This wasn't just for comfort, it was a highly practical choice to adapt our visual expression to that sharp, unforgiving modern lighting.
Modern stage lighting totally dictates the color palettes of our costumes today, while gobo effects and spotlights drive the dramatic imagery that was once provided solely by a dancer's ornaments. Think about it. Today, the interaction between a carefully chosen silk hue and a harsh overhead spotlight alters our visual expression on stage just as much as our physical movements do. The modern lighting rig has basically taken over the dramatic role that glittering gold used to play under flickering oil lamps.
Part 6. Identity and global culture. As we bring this explainer into the present day, we've got to look at how the modern, globalized world continues to pull and shape the strings of our aharya. HD cameras, social media visibility, and post-globalization access have democratized dance, sure, but socioeconomic backgrounds still deeply dictate a performer's ability to afford elite silks and authentic silver jewelry. While our art form has exploded onto a global stage, the harsh reality is that financial access still affects a dancer's ultimate presentability. Even today, our aharya tells a silent story about where we come from. Which brings us to a final thought. When you step out into the world today, how do the daily costumes you choose reflect your own cultural history and identity? Just as every piece of a dancer's jewelry tells a massive story of survival and evolution, I want to leave you to wonder how your own daily attire silently broadcasts the ancient echoes of your cultural identity. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep exploring,